Okay, students, we are going to start a new topic today, and this topic is called real-time operating system, right, or RTOS in short. So this is we are starting unit number 5, right? A very important topic from the point of view of general understanding of embedded system and overall knowledge about how the embedded system works in the real life, right? And it is also important from the point of view of your expanding your knowledge about operating system, right? So let's understand this very important topic. First of all, let's understand what is real-time system, right? You might have heard this terminology, but may not be exactly knowing what do we mean by real-time system. So let me try to explain in as simple words as possible, right? First, let's understand the definition. So, the real-time system is defined as a system in which the correctness of the system depends not only the logical result of the computation but also the time within which the result is delivered. Yeah, I have underlined those two important things. Normally, when you write an algorithm in a software, right? Say for example DSA. I told you to write a algorithm for sorting an array, right? So, how do you say that algorithm is correct? The correctness depends only on the output, right? So, at the end of running your program, if the array is sorted, I say the algorithm is correct. I am not saying there that the array must be sorted within certain time. Yeah, I mean it is important, but if it does not respond within that time, I do not say your algorithm is wrong. Yeah, the algorithm I can say that it should work faster or something like that, but I do not say the algorithm is wrong. But a real-time system is the one in which not only the result of the output, okay, but also the time within which the result is delivered decides whether the system is correct or not. Yeah, if the result is not delivered in time, then in the real-time system it is system failure and it is unacceptable. Okay, whereas a non-real-time system, if the result is not delivered in time, then system we can say it is degraded, but it is still acceptable. Yeah, there's a Venn diagram which is shown on the screen. So typically the the real-time system is spanning across. There is a very small percentage of embedded systems which are non-real-time, but majority of the real-time systems come under the embedded system domain. Yeah, so there are of course some systems which are embedded system but not real-time. Yeah, I will give you examples of such systems in the next slide. Yeah, then it will be clear. Okay, so see here, a real-time embedded example, for example, nuclear reactor control, the flight control, any safety critical system, missile tracking system, satellite guidance system, or any other system which is very critical for timely response. The airbag control in the car, yeah, all these are the real-time systems, right? Even MP3 player, mobile phone, they are also real-time systems, but there is a different class of these systems. As you can see here, protection and security wise, these upper two lines, okay, nuclear reactor control and all these two lines, whatever is mentioned here in these two lines, they are much more important and much more critical than these applications. So there is a difference in these, which will come to that little later. Yeah. Real-time system, but which is not embedded, is typically, for example, stock trading. Yeah, so here also it is important that you have a timely response, but this is not an embedded system, as you know. Then Skype or many other systems are there, yeah, which are non-embedded, but still a real-time response is expected from that. There's an embedded system but not real-time, for example, home temperature control, right? Then sprinkler system, washing machine, refrigerator, blood pressure meter, and so on and so forth. So time is not a factor here. If the output is coming after certain time, may not be exactly as expected, so it is still okay, but it is uh, not a failure of the system. Yeah, so in that sense it is not a real time, and but it is still embedded system, right? The main issue in generating result within specific time deterministically, not necessarily fast. Deterministically means I should be able to guarantee that my real-time system will be able to respond to a certain event within specified time. Yeah. So whether the time is 1 millisecond or 1 microsecond or 10 microsecond or whatever, I should be able to guarantee that, and this is what is meant by deterministic. Okay, I should be able to determine the worst case scenario, and the system should never go beyond that. If I say that, for example, take the case of missile tracking system. Yeah, as you can imagine, if there is even slightest delay in responding to the movement of the missile, then the system is failure. Yeah, there's no point in delivering the response after the deadline is over, because the system is straightforward failure. Yeah. So that is what is meant by deterministic. I should be able to deterministically give a guarantee that the system will respond within this much time period for a certain event. Yeah. So as I said in the last slide, there are two classes of real-time systems. Yeah. One is hard real-time, one is soft real-time. And the difference between this is essentially how forgiving the system is. If the time deadline, response deadline, is slightly delayed, whether the system is forgiving or it is not forgiving at all. A hard real-time system is one which is absolutely not forgiving for any slip in the deadline. A missing deadline is fatal with a catastrophic effect. So it could be possible loss of human life or very heavy economic loss. Yeah. Typical example are car airbag system, flight control, missile tracking system. Uh, Also in the medical domain, incubation system for a newborn baby, or you can have the chemotherapy machine where a certain dose of radioactive rays are exposed to the cancer patient. Okay, all these systems are, if the deadline is missed, then there can be catastrophic effect on the human life. Yeah, so all these systems are hard real time. No missing deadlines is allowed. Yeah, so these are hard real-time systems. Whereas soft real-time systems, the late completion of job is not really desirable, but it is not fatal. Yeah, the system performance will degrade, and as more and more deadlines are missed, the system performance will go down and down. Yeah, and at some point the system will be unusable. That is there, but at least if one deadline is missed, then the system is failure, just like hard real-time system. That is not there. Yeah, so there are certain examples which are given down below. Okay. Now let's come to the main topic of discussion, real-time operating system. So the operating system which is specifically designed for real-time system is called real-time operating system, in short RTOS. And as we saw before in the previous two slides, the most important thing is a predictable behavior. Okay, need not be necessarily fast. Yeah, it is of course fast. It has to respond in millisecond or at least seconds and so on and so forth. But the deterministic behavior is more important than making it fast. Yeah, so I should be able to guarantee that my RTOS will respond to this and this event within X microsecond, and should always 100% of the time should respond to that event within the specified time period. Yeah, so that's the main thing of real-time system. What is the disadvantage of real-time system? The throughput should be will be very mediocre. You will not get very high throughput, and essentially the real-time systems are also meant for that. They are meant for a specific task where you're not expecting a lot many tasks to be done by the real-time system, but the whole purpose of the real-time system is to respond to external event within a specified time duration, right? Generally, because of these constraints, the real-time operating system is very lean, very compact, very small footprint, memory footprint. Yeah, will not be very bulky. Inter-processing is very critical, because to respond to the external event within specified time, the external event is normally routed to interrupt, and inter-processing is a very critical part of the RTOS. Yeah. So what are the features of RTOS? It's event driven, because RTOS is essentially guaranteeing that an event will be responded to within a deterministic time. So it is event driven. Yeah, it is a very reactive system. Yeah. So if no event is happening in RTOS, then the RTOS is just idle. It is doing nothing. Yeah. So it is essentially an event driven system. The cost of failure is very, very high. Okay, as we have seen in the typical applications here. Yeah, all the applications. If the system fails, the cost is very high. Yeah, it may be either in the terms of human life or uh, many other factors which can decide the cost. There is a concurrency or multi-programming which are used in the RTOS. Okay, so there are multiple tasks running, multiple processes running which are being executed. It can be either standalone, a continuous operation, or it could be part of another big system. The reliability is very, very high for RTOS. The fault tolerance should be very high, which means that even if there is some fault that occurs, and because of that the deterministic response is not being guaranteed, then there has to be some mechanism which will take over the system and still respond within the specified time duration, right? As I said, predictable deterministic behavior. Yeah, so I should be able to guarantee the response time to the event. Task execution, there the task and process are used as synonyms. Yeah, so the process execution has to be prioritized. This has to be there because only with this deterministic behavior can be ensured. Yeah, otherwise it will not be ensured. There is no virtual memory. The swap file and all is not there because virtual memory always introduces some kind of non-predictability. Yeah, so virtual memory is not there, and there is a timer which is very high resolution. Right? Why high resolution timer required? We'll come to that in a short while. Yeah. What is the difference between general purpose operating system and RTOS? Yeah. Uh, General purpose operating system is for non-time critical, whereas RTOS is for time critical applications. In GPOS, the processes may execute either on a time shared basis, which means that all the processors will get equal amount of time to execute on the processor, and they will run turn by turn. Yeah, or it could also be prioritized execution, or it could be mixed. Yeah, round robin and prioritized could be mixed. RTOS always has a prioritized execution because only with that determinism can be ensured. The general purpose operating system is made for high-end general purpose systems like personal computers or workstation or servers and routers and things like that, where RTOS is specifically designed for a very low-end standalone applications like ATM, the vending machine, kiosk, airbag control, okay, and collision detection and so many things. So they are very specific to a certain application. GPOS or General Purpose Operating System is unbounded dispatch latency. What is dispatch latency? Dispatch latency is the time delay to respond to an event. Yeah. So this is not guaranteeing, not guaranteed in General Purpose Operating System. As the number of threads will increase, the latency will start increasing, and still the GPOS will keep on working. Right. This you can observe in your normal laptop or PC also. Your laptop or PC has a general purpose operating system. So there, as you keep on executing, more and more programs are launched. Your PC becomes slower, right? That's the indication that the latencies are increasing. Your response time of your this one of your laptop or PC will become sluggish. RTOS is designed that the response to the event is always deterministic, irrespective of how many tasks you run. Okay, it does not show unpredictable increase as the number of tasks increase. Right. The kernel of general purpose operating system is non-preemptible. The preemption word is used when a currently running process has to be stopped to allow a higher priority process to start execution. Now, normally general purpose operating system has a non-preemptible kernel, but in RTOS it has to be preemption, because if a higher priority task is ready to run, then and if the lower priority task is currently running, then it is always the higher priority task that is given control, and the low priority task is immediately stopped. and that is called as preemption, right? So what are the commercially available RTOS in the market? VxWorks is the world leader, right? It is industry leader, very robust, time tested, supported by many hardware platforms. If you go to VxWorks Wikipedia page, then you will literally get hundreds of applications which are currently being used by VxWorks. Some of the notable applications are all the NASA's Mars missions are running VxWorks. Okay, then Airbus A400, Boeing 787, the flight control on board, they use VxWorks. Then the Bosch Motors sports race car uses VxWorks. Then the Honda robot Asimo also uses VxWorks. Many gaming consoles, many industrial applications. There is a huge list you can see on the Wikipedia, right? QNX is another operating system, RTOS, which is there in the market. It has a very small footprint, small memory size. So it is bootable from ROM. It is used in BlackBerry 10, Ford Sync vehicle information system, and many other automotive applications, right? Then of course there are many other RTOS also in the market. Typically RT Linux. Linux by default is not real time, but there is a real time version of Linux called RT Linux, which is a real time version, right? Then there are other things, Lynx OS, FreeRTOS, Xenomai, and Mucos. These are also other versions which are available, other operating system RTOS are available in the market. FreeRTOS is the one which we will study in detail. There could be some lab experience also based on this. Of course, it depends on how many you can simulate and things like that. But in the lab, if you're able to do experiment, then we can use FreeRTOS. Yeah. So that's it, guys, for this session. So in this session, essentially, I wanted to communicate to you the concept of a real-time system, concept of a real-time operating system, in what way it differs from general purpose operating system, and also some of the features of RTOS and what are the commercially available RTOS in the market. Yeah. In the next session, we will see what are the building blocks of RTOS. Okay. So till then, bye guys.